Kia ora. Welcome back. So far you've heard me talk about human enhancement technologies and the idea of enhancement. So we'll have one of the big topics is going to be to work out what enhancement is. But in this lecture I want to basically give you some ideas of what enhancement technologies are, just by giving you some examples. So an enhancement technology is a technology that humans might apply to themselves to make themselves look better in some significant way. Maybe to make themselves stronger, to make themselves smarter, to make themselves more moral, to make themselves happier, to make themselves live longer. And human enhancement technologies already exist. So the first category of human enhancement technologies I want to introduce, you can actually already buy. If you go to the Amazon marketplace, you can buy them. Now, when I say that we have now entered the age of human enhancement, I'm not saying that all of these things work, but there are compounds, they're called nootropics, and you'll find discussion of them in the dialogue. So please read the dialogue to find some discussion of these nootropics. That you can buy from the Amazon marketplace. You can go and be prescribed them. And they claim to enhance your ability to think, your cognitive powers. So one of these nootropics is actually a compound that's sold for narcolepsy. So if you have narcolepsy is a condition where people who have it find themselves abruptly falling asleep when they shouldn't be falling asleep. Maybe when they're driving or when they're talking, they suddenly fall asleep. So modafinil, is a compound that basically combats that. And people noticed, if I take modafinil and I don't have narcolepsy, and say I go to play in the World Series of Poker, this drug's really useful. It enhanced my focus. So if you're playing poker in Las Vegas and it's a several-day tournament, one thing you don't want is to lose your edge. You want to remain alert. And so people who play in the World Series of Poker tournament over several days take modafinil to retain their alertness. And there are many other compounds. Some work, some don't, that are sold to improve your cognitive abilities. So that's one example. Another example of a very different kind of enhancement technology isn't a drug, it's not a nootropic, but it's actually a collection of technologies that modify your genes. So if you think about the genes that made you as you are now, there are genes that basically helped in combination with the environment to make your brain and to make your body. And scientists have identified genes that contribute particularly to thinking abilities, to alertness, to physical abilities, to longevity. And gene editing is a collection of technologies that became very in a way, there were a series of scientific advancement in the late 2000s, 2007 onwards, in which it was realized that these genes that feed into these human attributes could easily be modified. So people suddenly said, this gene feeds into intelligence. Well, I can actually modify this gene now to give more of what it gives. And is that a modification? I don't know, if this gene influences my intelligence, can I tweak it to make me even more intelligent? Well, people are exploring these possibilities. So that's gene editing is a possibility, an enhancement technology that's kind of available now, but we should expect to see more of. My third example, and remember that these are just examples, so there will be many more. So I want you to be empowered to come up with other examples. But the third example involves basically brain implants. So you've probably heard of someone called Elon Musk. Elon Musk has a company. Of course he does, called Neuralink, and he wants to basically replace parts of people's brains with basically sort of digital technology. You know, if you currently, his thought is that there are some people whose brains suffer damage. I don't know if you have a relative who has Alzheimer's disease. Often people who are suffering Alzheimer's have a problem with part of their brain that encodes and retrieves memory. And the idea of basically an implant, a brain implant, is to say, well, we could put some digital technology into someone's head and replace the part of their brain that's failing. And that's something that Elon Musk is really trying to do right now. He's not modifying genes, he's not giving you a drug to take. He's going to put something in your brain which will improve your ability to think. Now, his first goal are people whose brains have suffered damage. But in actual fact, if you think about digital technologies, once they have a pattern of improvement. And so your phone is a digital technology. And if you compare the powers of your phone now with the powers of I don't know, the best phone 20 years ago, you will find that your phone is more powerful. It can do more things. So as soon as you put a digital technology in someone's head, well, you're beginning to enter a world in which we don't just want to restore normal human powers of memory. We want to basically give people memories that are superhuman. And that's actually a future that Elon Musk may be trying to create for us. Now, these are 3 examples. And I've said you were an imagining animals. I want you to basically consider others. So these are just 3. If this is the age of human enhancement, there are going to be many other technologies that are going to be marketed at us as basically improving us, enhancing us in some significant way. I've given an example of a drug, a gene editing technology, a range of the influencing the changing the genes that feed into your intelligence, and also a neuroprosthesis, something that would replace part of your brain with something that's potentially more powerful. Think of others. There are many other possibilities and contribute them. Thank you.